I want you to protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Fight hard, but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck.
Champion against champion. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the First Strike Podcast, episode 22. I'm your host, Christian. And my man, am I right? Introduce yourself.
Sunburnt Chris. Savaged up by the sun.
Looking like a lobster bee.
Worse.
What's going on, y'all? It's your LeBron James.
The true Ho.
No, I'm just kidding. the true Duho Choi.
Oh, damn.
Jesus, how y'all doing?
I'm Jesse. I'm just going to keep it original. I don't like to make
You don't want to
names
give out
for
governments
myself.
like Jesus did?
No.
Nah, no governments?
Oh, he already did it. It's out
Yeah.
there now.
Yeah, you can find a social security number, everything.
Well, my man, if you ever want to become big, how are you supposed to know your real name, Titty Boy?
Well, a lot of these people don't even have their real name.
I know, it's true.
So it's all about stage names, right, CM Punk? But,
Anybody
how you
know his
guys
real
doing?
name?
What happened?
Anybody know his real name?
Phil Brooks.
Is John Cena's name really John Cena?
Yeah, I actually think it is. We're doing this on an MMA podcast, by the way. John Cena's name. Let's see. John Felix Anthony Cena. Yeah, that's the government. He's 40.
That's his government.
He's 40 years old already. But
You don't look it.
nah, I don't know.
No, look 20.
He deadlifting 600 pounds.
All right, now let's actually talk some MMA. Hope you guys are doing all good. It kind of feels weird having a podcast for not having a lot to talk about.
Well, I got a question. Would John Cena do okay in MMA?
Probably not.
If he can
Gas out.
continue, I know he's going to argue, but if he can continue juicing up.
He doesn't juice up.
See, here we go.
He all natty, baby.
All natty.
You really got to look into it because I know.
You know a guy that knows a guy.
No, it's just I see shoot interviews, and it's basically where people can go off on their company and whatnot, and they all say that it's tested religiously. The only people that wouldn't get tested are Brock
John Cena?
Lesnar. No,
If John Cena ever flagged, say, negative or positively for drugs, would they do anything? He's their big star.
They
you know, I'm
did
just
it
wondering.
to Randy Orton.
You telling me Randy Orton juicing?
No, not juicing. He was popping pills.
What you doing,
What kind
son?
of pills?
Do
you know?
It was probably, I think it was
You better call this man
wanna
up
say,
and get
like-
whatever John Cena's getting.
Xanax, Vicodins, things like that,
Right.
antidepressants. But they did it to Roman Reigns while he had the championship on him, and that's the
Really?
golden boy. Jesse could attest to that. He watches.
Mm-hmm.
Like they treat him like he's a god, and they
Yeah.
did it to him while he had the championship.
I wonder if it
How long?
could
He
be
was suspended like a month,
behind-the-scenes
too, right?
issue.
Only thing is, I would say I think John Cena's been clean all his life. If he ever not clean, this would be the time now. Like ever since
What's
probably
he, 265?
I don't
Big
know
boy.
his exact weight, but if anything, it'll be now just because he shows up a lot less often. So, but I mean, he's been jacked forever now. He is 6'1". Let me see if I can find his weight.
285.
I guarantee it's 265 or 260.
His weight is 250.
Jeez.
LeBron
Generally,
James is 6'8" and he's
yeah.
250.
I'm just saying.
Damn, Randy Orton is 250 pounds.
You don't look like it.
Yeah, but I think
Well,
he's
how
a lot
tall is he?
taller.
Yeah, I was going to say. He's pretty tall, right?
Why they don't have his height? Give me a second. His height is 6'5", yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's
tall,
why.
man.
He should be in the NBA.
Randy Orton.
He's 6'5"?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
God damn. So when you get, what's his move?
RKO.
When you get RKO, that's pretty high in the air.
Well, you're still standing.
I'm just saying he jumps pretty high. I think.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
So with his current physique, let's just go with that question.
Well, I
How
don't
would
think
John
he'll...
Cena do?
The thing with a wrestling match, there's some wrestling matches that
Did he
last
ever
40
actually
minutes.
wrestle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was a competitive.
There's some wrestling matches that last 40 minutes. You know what I mean? He had an hour Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels on an episode of Raw. And wrestling matches are very exhausting.
I'm sure you have the
Yeah.
experience to talk about.
You ran in a ring. You
That shit is hard.
You ran the ropes. How draining was that?
Yo, just first off, you know how much momentum you need to actually have those ropes to like your momentum to be thrown in and be thrown
Yeah.
back. Oh, first off, it hurts. The turnbuckle hurts. Like when you slam on that.
Wait, you were in a WWE ring?
Well,
It
a
was
wrestling
a
ring.
wrestling
Oh,
ring.
okay.
When you fall on that mat, just falling on your back regularly does not feel good. There is a certain way you do have to do it, and I don't understand because I did it one time. I thought I was gonna get a concussion, like because my head slammed against the mat. I give props to those guys.
Do you think that would translate well?
No,
Because I've
It's
learned
different
from
than
experience.
punching.
Exactly, I learned from experiences that it's different.
Look at
The
CM
game
Punk.
is different. You probably don't exert as much force when you're hitting someone
Yeah.
as you
Well,
would.
did you
MMA.
did you ever hear Brock Lesnar compare wrestling and MMA?
What did he say?
He said wrestling is 10 times harder.
Really?
Well, he said it's more. He said it's more damage to the body. Not damage to the body, but I forgot the exact word. Exhausting. He said it's more exhausting. The schedule, how they do it every day.
every week beating your body.
But even him, he doesn't do it. You know, Brock Lesnar shows up once every few months and wrestles a match. But he says it's very exhausting, and the match itself is long, and you know, even his matches are really short because it's Brock Lesnar, so they like.
I'm trying to think if he ever had stamina issues in the MMA.
Brock?
Did he?
He
did
when
go,
he fought
did he go
Kane.
5 rounds before? No.
When he fought Kane, remember when he had that surgery on something on his
That was only 2 rounds, though, right?
stomach, though. And
With
he
Kane, 2 or 3.
Really?
He lasted the whole decision with Mark Hunt.
If not 1. You know what? In fact, I don't even know if Kane smashed him in 1 round. I'm not sure. But it was an ass whooping. It was an ass whooping.
Yeah, no, I remember watching it live at your house.
Yeah.
He got.
Wow, we watched it live.
Yeah.
He got beat
We
by
did.
Overeem.
He got ran around.
He got trucked.
He got beat by Overeem too. So
I don't know. Could he last against a scrub? Probably. I mean, he broken his nose in a ring before, so he could take punishment. He tore. I think he tore his what is it called? The thing that Kobe rotate. Yeah, he tore his rotator cuff. Continue the match. So I mean, they're tough. So how can they take pain when they're being punched in the face?
I wonder if he's got a glass jaw or not.
I don't know.
John Cena.
What wrestler do you think could do it? I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura did MMA.
Bobby Lashley did it.
Bobby Lashley.
He was a ranger though, wasn't he, or something like that?
Bobby Lashley.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He's like 18.
He's had some gassing issues, but that's because he's a big motherfucker.
How about Brock Lesnar? I mean, not Brock Lesnar. David Batista.
He was terrible. He had only one MMA fight,
and
it was against someone who looked like a retired father.
Like
45 years old.
Yeah, looked like Butterball.
He just finished playing golf, and he struggled with that guy.
It's not completely out the question though. You know what I mean?
No, I know. I'd watch John Cena versus Dave Batista.
I mean, when I saw Mickey Gall go against CM Punk, that was just embarrassing for CM Punk.
Is the smaller guys are just so much skillfully better?
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Well, Cena here 250. Okay, he'd be in the heavyweight division now, so.
And he'll be one of the heavyweights.
Yeah, so who would he...
With some wrestling experience.
Yeah. I don't know. When the thing is, difference between WWE and MMA, you start with standing first. Mm-hmm. So, if you go
John wrestled in high school?
Look, I know he definitely wrestled. He did a lot of sports.
I think he went to college, I'm pretty sure, too. So, he probably wrestled there.
And he had a movie where he was a wrestler, so, I mean, that's something, right?
He had a movie where he was a Marine too. So? Jumping out the water.
He does look like a prototypical Marine though.
You know, you have to watch. I'm just throwing this out there. Daddy's Home.
What the fuck is that?
With Mark Wahlberg and John Cena.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
John Cena's in it for a little bit, just to talk about John Cena. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Well, Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it.
John Cena's not in the military, right?
He played football on the college team.
I thought he used to be like a Marine for like...
So he played football, that's good.
Yeah,
what division?
I think Division 3. So, I mean...
Still an athlete.
So no wrestling background?
No, he did wrestle.
He wrestled in high school, but I don't think he did anything in college. No.
Okay. All right.
Not like my man Kurt.
Fair enough. Cody Garbrandt didn't do anything in college.
He could have, but he just went.
He's probably one of the best wrestlers in that division.
Mm-hmm. He didn't do anything?
No, but people wanted him.
What's with him playing grab ass?
He wrestled in high school, though.
I didn't see that video. I'm glad you brought it up.
He was playing grab ass with his friends.
Drunk. I think Cody a little suspect.
Yeah, did you see that video?
Oh, yeah.
TJ was like,
I don't think he...
Any updates with that fight?
No. I don't think that fight's going to happen.
What about TJ DJ? Any updates with that fight?
Demetrius Johnson might lose his job. Because the division might go bye-bye.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Dana White.
I just don't understand why the large kingpin hands of Dana White. I just don't understand why it's so hard for DJ to say yes.
Right?
You still get 20% of his purse. Yeah. You still get paid
and
if TJ doesn't show up.
He'll get 20% of Cody's purse?
Yes.
That's probably a bit.
No, TJ.
If he doesn't make weight.
But, what you call it? How many more fights he has to win?
One more. And I think he wants
why don't they do
get an easy fight?
Why not a catchweight fight?
Because then it won't count towards his title defense.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he loses, he doesn't lose that title defense.
TJ wants the title.
Well, I also don't think
Okay.
DJ wants it. Like literally not because TJ won't make the weight. I don't think
He's
that's
afraid.
it. I think he's
Yeah.
I agree.
afraid, or
And
maybe
he just
afraid.
thinks he's not
right
well
word.
deserving of it, which I can understand. But
I just-
DJ has been saying, "I want super fights." So
That's the super fight.
I think TJ has all the tools and plus the size to beat him.
well,
You
technically-
think if the record wasn't intact, he would do it?
I think that's a possibility. Yeah, I think actually he would be down for that. Yeah,
It's just the record.
just that
technically,
record.
I don't consider it a super fight. I've said it before because TJ doesn't have the belt.
there's only one super fight. People keep forgetting. Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I've been saying it.
Everyone's like, I want
forever.
money fights. As Dana White said, you're not Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a while.
You can keep living that fantasy escape that you're gonna find one, but no.
Like if
Ronda
Conor,
Rousey.
like if Conor McGregor and
No,
GSP
I don't know.
fight,
Her stock went down.
That's
Sure.
a super fight.
He's at 1 in 10,000.
You're not gonna fool me that you're coming back with redemption after that. That
Yeah.
initial, that
Fear the
last
return.
Hell
Fear the
no.
You
return.
talking about what? When her face got smashed in?
smashed it badly. But there's no money fight, so fighters need to get off of that train. Do I think TJ's a great fight and it's better than Ray Borg financially? How
Yeah.
can we argue that Ray Borg's the better contender?
Yeah.
How?
He just wants to break the record and then
Exactly.
do the TJ fight. That's what I feel.
So why aren't we just waiting for Cody to get healthy and do the fight then?
Because TJ is in training camp and he's just eager to fight. That's the fighter mentality.
Well, if Duhoy Choi, which we just got the announcement, is off of 214,
Sadly.
what else is on that card? They haven't put the Cyborg fight on there, right?
Yeah, they hit the Cyborg and what's the girl she hit?
Williams?
At
Is that her
Are
name?
they struggling right now?
Yeah, they're struggling. Our last
What the-
podcast was titled "Is UFC on a Downfall?"
Without Conor McGregor?
It technically is. Like
Well,
look at the
they
state
also
of
having
UFC now.
difficulty bringing Nate Diaz in.
GSP.
GSP.
Bisping's
They're
out for a
not. They
while.
have potential, obviously here, and they have the Cody and TJ were supposed to be the next biggest thing.
So who's on this 214's the next card?
Jones
213.
Cormier.
I was good. Oh, which is still big though.
That's big.
Cormier versus John?
Yeah.
John just lost his mother by the way.
But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna mention that.
Diabetes.
damn.
It sucks.
But I heard. Well, I mean, I didn't hear anything. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm saying if that card doesn't have, is Cyborg gonna be on it? Yes or no?
Yeah, probably the co-main event.
Is that a fact?
Well, Cyborg's on the card. They just need the opponent.
Okay, Cyborg. That's cool. Any match with Cyborg, I want to see. But
Really?
without Duhoy Choi,
Yeah,
without
watch the
Duhoy
Massive.
Choi, well, who else could be on the
That's why.
card?
They could probably put TJ in there.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
they can.
Throw the TJ fight, and then you got a very marketable card that I'm very looking forward to.
And then DJ would get attention like he's been bitching about.
That's why I can't figure him out. You want attention? They're offering you big cards on a big pay-per-view with pay-per-view points. If you fight TJ,
And he's completely dead to the. He doesn't want it at all, right?
that's why he's lying. He just doesn't want to fight TJ.
Yeah, it had to be. So Duhoy Choi got injured. That's one of the things
So
we got to talk
sad.
about. I was looking forward to watching that man go
I
again.
want to see how he bounces back. And no offense to Andre Feely, but he's not a top
Great fighter.
opponent. Yeah,
Yeah, he works at Team
So-
Alpha Mill, but
I
that's
know.
pretty
He's
much
just
it.
not one of them.
No.
He's that guy that comes around and he's like, oh, that's one of your friends. Dave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Andre Philly, I don't think has it. I don't think he's a good opponent to bounce back from. I
Yeah.
thought Duho Choi could have clipped him up pretty well.
Have you heard about Bisping? He said he wants to fight GSP and one more fight and then he's done. What do you think about that?
He wants to get beat up by GSP and then he's done?
I don't know about
It
that.
sounds like he's running away from the true contenders
Mhm.
who are going to be fighting. Is it?
Romero Whitaker. Is that who you're referring to?
Yes,
July.
Yeah, that's in a few
that's
weeks.
in July.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting matchup, especially with the top contenders at 85, since Bisping is gonna be out for a while, and GSP that fights off. So it's gonna be the real contender against Bisping because I don't think GSP and Bisping's the match to make as of right now.
When they first announced that, I was pretty hyped.
Me too.
But now that they're beating a dead horse and we're waiting months and months upon months for it to happen,
They said November.
they even had a press conference.
Yeah.
What, a month ago?
Yeah, about 2 months ago.
So, like, why are they giving us a press conference if this won't happen till winter? Damn near. I find that a bit irritable.
The funny thing was, like, GSP was like, "Oh, I can't fight because I need eye surgery. I won't be able to fight till November." And then Bisping was like, "Oh, I'll fight Romero." A few weeks later, "Oh, my knee hurts. I just had surgery. I'm recovering.
Either two options. The money wasn't good for that contract with Romero, or he doesn't want to fight Romero.
And you know what the problem is with people nowadays? You know, we have access to everything now. We have a question, we just boom, look at our smartphone. You know, now the public eye, they want it now. So, you know, when you talk about we ain't gonna watch a fight until November, that feels like years from now.
Not only that, but you had a press conference,
and that's when you lose interest with the fans. You got the ratings,
losing money. Yeah.
UFC just sold for what, 4.6 or 4.2?
4.2.
$4.2 billion. They need that money.
So the pay-per-views haven't really been that great. But what about the fight nights? We just had a fight night last week.
211
How
was
was that
great.
one?
211 was good.
212 was good. Jose Aldo was allegedly injured.
Oh,
Yeah.
was he?
He didn't use his leg kicks. 'cause
Like
he
I told my
hurt,
brother,
so-
your jaw's still cracked. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You still got rocked.
You still
I
got
don't care-
pummeled.
I don't care about your injury just because you weren't throwing leg kicks. Although,
I think we talked about it, right? When we were headed to the movies. That, you know, like, Jose is stuck. Or did we talk about this on Last Pal?
we actually talked.
Oh, okay. He's stuck. Is it?
He's falling into that. I don't want to see a rematch.
He would get pummeled
Doesn't
by a
deserve
bigger,
one.
a bigger athlete, and that's just gonna happen. If he's not fighting someone smaller, he's gonna have to fight someone bigger, and he obviously can't beat Conor, can't beat Max Holloway.
He struck us so far with people with longer reach, more efficient strikers.
Remember, that chin just gets weaker.
Well, how was last week's fight night? I just
Who's that?
saw
Mark Hunt fought Mark Henry.
Oh,
Mark Henry.
I didn't get to see it. I was with my man. That's his birthday.
I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it either.
I
Jesse, you
watched
saw
the
it.
fight.
Would you have rather been my party or watch
glad
that
I
fight?
missed it.
Yeah.
Was there anything good? Did you see all the fights, or you just saw the last one?
I saw the last, I think, 2 or 3. I'm not sure.
Were anything good?
Well, I know Tim Elliott lost, sadly, to a rear naked choke. Who else was on that card?
I thought he was staying at flyweight.
Well,
Was it a late?
yeah.
Did he fill in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who else was on
two
that card?
cheeseburgers.
Pull up that card if you don't mind. All I know is
See, this is bad.
We'll talk about the Derek Lewis and
He said, "Listen, I don't remember."
The Derek Lewis and Mark Hunt fight. It went to 4 rounds. It was going back and forth. It was pretty interesting. But Derek Lewis, I thought he was going to knock him out probably in like first or second round because Mark Hunt has the glass chin. But Mark Hunt just stated with the pressure of Derek Lewis because he kept chasing him throughout the fight, and they were just throwing bombs at each other because they're heavyweights.
Is Mark Hunt that bad?
He's 13 and 11, bro. That's not a good record.
His last 2 fights, he was just fighting pit bulls.
Yeah,
He's a good striker.
Yeah.
And he has power behind it.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's where
Yeah.
it ends.
Is
He's
he
not a
he's-
grappler.
he's a turtle?
You throw him on the floor.
Brunson.
There's no difference.
Oh yes, Brunson. But I'll continue on Derek Lewis and Mark Hunt. But Derek Lewis got TKO'd because they were both gassed in the 4th round, and Mark Hunt finished him off with some punches, and the ref called it.
Rikishi versus
Mark Henry. But and then I don't know if you heard this or not. They interviewed Mark Hunt, and he said, "Oh, what's next for you?" Blah blah blah. And he said, "Oh, whoever they give me, they give me. I don't really care." And he was happy that he won, got past the losses of no decision against no contest against Brock Lesnar and the loss against Overeem. And then they interviewed Derek Lewis, and this man says, "This was probably my last fight." What's up with all these people retiring? Like Anthony Johnson.
how old is Derek Lewis?
Derek Lewis.
His name just started getting popping.
Yeah. Someone else lost a few months ago, and they retired too. Like
Misha.
I don't get.
He's
Yeah.
32.
And I don't understand why these people are
Do
retiring.
you know the payouts? Can you find that out?
I know Derek Brunson took home $85,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And he had a stellar performance against Daniel Kelly, the guy that beat Rashad Evans. Remember
He
him?
finished him
that
quick,
white boy.
right?
Yeah. He hit him with a.
The
nice right hand.
awkward
Yeah.
swing in? Really?
Yeah. He beat Daniel Kelly. That was a good performance by Brunson, especially he lost from Anderson Silva controversially. So that's a good one for Derek Brunson. And he's in that 185 pound division. He said he would love to get revenge against Robert Whittaker in the future, but Robert Whittaker's probably going to be future champ like very, very soon. So Derek Brunson, he just climbing up the ladder. So
Middleweight.
we'll see. 85.
Yeah, and Tamili beat New Wigan. He lost to Ben Nigan. Nigan?
It's
Nguyen?
it's not Nigan, but I say Nigan.
Yeah, that's where I got that. I got that from you.
Yeah,
So-
I'm just gonna say Nigan. It's like Nguyen.
And now, what about this card coming up this week? The Home and Bet Korea, both One beat Ronda, one got their ass whooped by Ronda.
This is a horrible
June
card.
seems like a dry month.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be the hottest month of the year.
July usually, because it's International Fight Week, they have their best
I
cards.
can't wait for that. Ultimate Fighter 213 fight.
Whoa,
night.
RDA's on this card?
Although I'm looking forward to see what RDA brings at 170.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
Why is he the first on a main card? Wait, this whole card's on Fight Pass?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't even know that.
Stream it illegally.
Yeah, you got Doug Horn Kim, who I know. You got Tariq Safdien versus Rafael Dos Anjos.
Wait, is BJ Penn on this card?
No.
Okay.
You got Andrei Arlovsky versus some random guy, and you got Home and Korea.
Marston's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
How old is Andre?
Like 37.
I no longer pick.
Why is
Arlovsky
RDA on this
ever.
card? He dropped that. What happened since he
RDA's
lost?
never been
Ferguson, he
marketable.
moved up into weight.
What happened when he lost Ferguson? He hasn't fought since.
No, he moved.
Wow.
He moved up in weight too, so that could change.
Oh well, he lost his
format
title,
of-
then lost to Ferguson.
Yeah,
You're
that
right.
could-
Khabib still hurt.
Khabib.
Khabib.
Shout out to Joey Diaz for that.
Yeah, he's still hurt. He's still recovering from his
He's a
vicious weight cut.
baby. He's still ranked number 1.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
They should just move Tony Ferguson to the front spot.
They should put Khabib at 70.
Tony Ferguson is what? Just waiting on his home, waiting for a call from Dana.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tony's ready to rock. I
He
know
wanted
he was
to fight Nate
interested in
Diaz.
Nate Diaz, but
But Nate Diaz wants 20
That would be a
million.
slugfest. That'd be fun.
that's a good fight actually.
Conor
Think-
never, I mean, is Nate Diaz never gonna fight in the UFC again? Is he?
Until Conor comes back, probably not.
But what if Conor never wants to fight him?
Then Nate Diaz will probably retire. Like, look at the state of Nick Diaz. He hasn't fought since Anderson Silva. So, and plus he got suspended. And last time Nick Diaz won was against BJ Penn in 2011 or 12. That's something to say. So,
Well, you guys got any predictions for this card?
for the Holm Correa,
Yeah.
all I know is if Holm loses to Beth Correa, she got to retire. 4 straight L's against
and Beth Correa is
Tate.
not good.
Correa. Yeah, no.
She's a Generation 1 fighter.
Correa, Tate, Shevchenko. Like, no, you gotta retire. Who
What
else
about-
did she lose to? Dronime. Yeah.
What about Dos Anjos?
I'm interested in what he can do at 70. He was obviously one of the best lightweights ever for UFC, and he always did struggle with cutting weight. That's why he obviously moved up in weight to 70. So I'm curious what he could do against. Who's he fighting? Tariq?
Yeah,
Safdien.
Safdien.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight. Tariq's a veteran in the sport. RDA will probably use his power more efficiently at 70, and he'll not have to cut as much weight. So I hope RDA does win that fight because I'm not real a fan of Tariq.
What's the body difference? Like, tell me, like, height-wise. Excuse me.
Tariq got an inch on him height-wise, and
Okay.
they got the same reach.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll
fair
be
enough.
even.
Then he translates pretty well over because he was a big lightweight as it was.
Yeah,
so.
and RDA is
RDA.
a very good grappler. Just look what he did to Anthony Pettis. He's a
RDA
black
would cut
belt.
down from like 200,
Yeah.
190.
And RDA is a black belt on the ground too, so he could handle Tariq. I hope he wins. If not, then
I mean, he's still got great
good
time.
questions to come.
I mean, he's still Rafael Dos Anjos.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
one of the best
So-
lightweights ever. Yeah,
Hopefully he just gets a W and advances in that division. He's already ranked number 5, so
no, there's-
Lightweight.
That's lightweight.
I taken his lightweight
Yeah.
ranking.
yeah.
Okay.
Then when they fight, they'll update it and change it.
Okay, I didn't know.
I was gonna say like at welterweight, what? Because welterweight's stacked.
I wouldn't doubt it with how the UFC handles some of the rankings.
That's true.
As we were talking about the power rankings with Conor McGregor ranked number 2.
Ronda is still number 2.
It's like, when is Conor going to jump back on?
Whenever
let's
they
talk about
fight
it.
Floyd, yeah.
August 26th, officially announced. This is probably our main topic for the day and our last. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, August 26th,
Two
MGM Grand.
sources retracted that statement. Just saying.
I just got an update again.
Yeah, I got an update saying that the Nevada State Athletic Commission has approved Mayweather's
Mayweather
signing.
promotion gets approved to promote boxing event on August 26th, despite reports of requests being retracted
Okay.
an hour ago.
So either they're trying to hide it at the moment, they're probably trying to hide it with statements, being that it was retracted.
But it's looking as real as ever.
It
So it would
honestly
be-
is.
It'll be August 29th. 26th.
26th.
Excuse me. 26th. So that would be great because it's
happening.
very soon.
Yeah, and it's before the Triple G and Canelo fight, which the date got taken from them because
Bro, if they wanted to have boxing on a revival stack, you should have had Triple G and Canelo on this card.
I'd pay $150.
Bro, if you want to really revive boxing, put everybody you possibly can. Have a WrestleMania boxing card.
Well, it's so difficult because unlike the UFC, there's major promotions everywhere. That they can't really combine that because I'm sure Mayweather Promotions is taking care of this one coming up in the 26th, if it does happen. Canelo and Triple G is a competitor. It's a competitor promotion. Now, I don't know how it would be like Bellator on the next day.
Yeah, well, De La Hoya has his own promotion too, and De La Hoya and Mayweather never got along. So,
but it's just imagine like a WrestleMania.
They don't want to split that
card.
money.
No,
they don't want to split the
two different promotions.
Because then they gotta who gets the pay-per-view cuts? Like it could be me, it could be because of you.
What a complication, right? Because the UFC, aren't they getting something from this?
I don't know how it's working out. I know Dana White said obviously
Connor's
he's
gonna
a
make
part of it.
100 mil plus.
You think?
I know it was estimated at 80 that he's gonna make just on paper. Yeah. And then Connor posted that doesn't consider the ad revenue. That doesn't consider the press conference.
Altogether, $660 million
is what they're looking to pick up. Yeah,
it's a $500 million fight.
More than half.
That's
Floyd will take over 300 mil. Look what he did against Pacquiao.
That's ridiculous.
Just because they're boxing. Honestly,
that's why else you think Connor's trying for this fight so hard.
You know what I'm afraid of though?
He can make 4 times a UFC fight in this fight right here.
Yeah, I'm afraid that Connor's never going to fight again after this fight. I think he's going to be like, oh, I got all the money in the world.
So young.
Fuck the UFC.
He's 28, 29.
And just take care of his family and just move on from life. Maybe he'll come back to the UFC, but that won't be good. Look what GSP is dealing with now.
Well, the fact he has a child now might make a difference. I know when people get a family, they start not wanting to get their ass beat. Yeah, but if you have $150 million in your bank, do you really...
Yeah, but...
And not to mention, you could get money off of everything else. Mm-hmm. He's a god in Ireland.
Yeah.
Sure, he could always invest,
have his own statue,
have his own businesses, have his own gym, whatever he wants. He's Conor McGregor.
I just hate when fighters stop fighting for legacy and just for money.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, he was fighting for legacy.
Yeah.
Why he wanted 2 belts, then it just turned into money.
Yeah, I think he proved his legacy when he won that second belt, and then he was just like, I could just tell in his interview.
I don't think so.
The man said,
"How to prove his legacy? He didn't even defend."
No. I'm not defending what he said, but I completely disagree with how he's been handling his situation with the UFC and the whole boxing thing. If he doesn't come back after this Floyd Mayweather fight to the UFC, I'll lose a lot of respect for Conor, and even though I love him, he's fucking my phone cover and everything.
Is there interim champion at that division yet? Lightweight?
I'm sick of that.
There should have been.
Everybody get a belt now.
Conor McGregor hasn't fought since Alvarez.
Yeah,
I know, and I'm sick of it.
Well, when was the Alvarez fight? November?
They tried to have it March. Remember, Khabib didn't cut weight correctly.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be the
That's Khabib's fault. Now Tony's just sitting there waiting for Conor.
My man had 2 belts when he won the first one, 2015.
Yeah,
had 2 belts since 2015. Hadn't defended either one of them.
That's just.
And now he only has 1. He still hadn't defended that one. And you want to consider him a great champion? My ass.
No, I don't consider him a great champion.
Who called him the best champion? I think Joe Rogan said he's the best
featherweight. No, I'll agree with that.
Of all time.
I can agree with that though.
The best featherweight of all time should be your best champion in that division.
Yeah,
the numbers speak, right?
Mm-hmm. The best light heavyweight of all time. Who is it?
Light heavyweight?
Yeah.
John Jones.
Okay, best heavyweight of all time.
Fedor.
Yeah. I'm saying whatever you do with the title, should determine.
I'll agree.
Every best of every division, the best flyweight.
Demetrius.
Look what he did with the title. Best welterweight.
GSP.
Title. It's all title runs.
Yeah, but there's different aspects.
That defines you what you
best
want.
Showman. Of course,
Conor. Yeah. Who brought UFC
bantamweight?
Dom.
Yeah, you had the championship, defended it.
Or Renan Barao. He could be up there too.
No, Dom's better than that guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dom is the best bantamweight right now. You know, until say Cody keeps kicking ass or TJ. You know.
Yeah. But getting back to Conor and Floyd, getting into the aspects of the fight.
They have in a jungle upstairs.
Yeah, they are. Conor has to knock out Floyd within 5 rounds. If he doesn't, it's gonna be Floyd's show. The rest
no
of the fight.
idea if. No offense to Conor, but Floyd's gonna be shielding from the left hand the whole fight.
No, I know that, but
know?
like if Conor wants to win, he's gonna have to do it under 5 rounds because the conditioning plays a part, and then it's Floyd's sport the rest of the fight. So
He's gonna kick him.
Hit him with a knee.
I wonder if
I kinda
conditioning
hope so.
will really affect him. To be honest,
2 minute rounds, 3 minutes.
2 minute rounds with no grappling.
Yeah,
With
just
no
hands.
grappling, no kicking, just hands. Would that really affect Conor?
I don't think so.
Because he looked very crisp his last fight. He was not tired.
Mm-mm.
I know it ended in 2, right?
Yeah,
Then in 2, I know. But at least he got past the first round without exhausting himself. I think it could have been that 170 jump that caused such concern because he went.
What is he fighting this fight at? 153?
It's going to be around the same that he fought.
Honestly,
Eddie.
I
Or
could
is it
see
148?
I could see
156 possibly.
They got the weirdest ass divisions.
I could see Floyd making Conor cut to 46 or 47 because that's just how Floyd is. He takes the bigger man, makes him cut all the weight, and weakens him. If it's at 150,
Well, it's Floyd's
150,
Floyd
Yeah.
is the money in this
Yeah.
fight.
He's the A side. Yeah. I'll agree with that. But John Kavanaugh said he would love to have the fight at 153, and that's reasonable because Conor fought at 154 against Alvarez, so he can make the weight no problem. Same thing with Floyd Money Mayweather. He runs miles on miles probably every other day.
He's training. I
Yeah.
watched a live video on Instagram
How old is
2
he now?
days ago.
39 or 40?
40. He's 40, and he's probably the most.
There's a reason. It's
jacked
coincidental.
40-year-old.
He's 8. It's August 26th, possibly, and he's training. So.
So is Conor.
And he's marketing it. You know, sure, he probably trains every day, but now he's taking pictures of himself training. He's putting live videos of himself training. So, I mean, if you're deducting it, it looks like it's
And also,
possibly coming
low
soon.
key, we keep just talking about, Floyd, his return and whatnot, and Conor hopping in the ring. If he wins, he has the greatest undefeated streak of all time. In boxing.
That's not true.
Who has a better one?
Most fights won in a row without losing.
Well, no, I'm saying perfect record.
Yeah.
He has the record for the perfect record.
Yeah, he'll beat Rocky Marciano, who's one of my favorites. But the thing is with Conor, he has nothing to lose in this fight. If he fights Floyd, all he's going to be
Floyd
making
has everything to lose.
Yeah,
If you lose to Conor, you not only snap that 49 win streak,
he lost
you
to
lose
an
to someone who
MMA
transitioned.
fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone who Bob Arum would make fun of for not having enough technical.
Yeah. Especially being
skill.
part of Pacquiao and everything.
Exactly. So, I see Floyd. There's a reason why he hasn't signed it either. You know, he has a lot. He has more to lose. Conor, as soon as Floyd signs, he won. You know.
Yeah,
It's all again. He gets the paycheck. He gets
the recognition, the fans, everything.
If he gets more of an audience. If he wins, he just beat one of the greatest boxers of all time. If
Arguably
he loses,
the best
he
ever.
lost one of the greatest boxers of all time. There's no losing in this situation.
For Floyd, everything. That's they have advantage for Conor because he does have the reach. He's bigger and everything else. But that mental aspect.
You got the advantage Conor in this fight.
No, with the height and the reach. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. That's all Conor has.
Floyd's actually pretty short, right?
He's 5'6".
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Conor's
so hype someone out height.
5'8", 5'7". I'm sorry. Conor has a 74-inch reach. Floyd has a 72.
Oh, lying. Floyd Mayweather's 5'8".
Damn, he
What's
looks
Conor's
short.
reach?
74-inch reach.
Floyd has 72. 2 inches not going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
No, who knows?
But the mental aspect, I think it's on Conor's side.
You ever see
because-
people who are 6'4" compared to people who are 6'6"? You're like, damn, this man is huge.
But it's reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's the mental aspect that Conor has because Floyd has everything to lose, Conor doesn't. But you could say the same thing with Artem and Cub. Cub had everything to lose in that fight. Artem wasn't even ranked. And Cub made a fool out of Artem.
We're talking about... We're comparing, dimes.
No, I know.
to
Yeah, I know that.
millions.
But I was just comparing it to the UFC aspect. Yeah.
I want to see it. I do.
You're actually excited?
The whole world
Sure,
wants to see
sure.
it.
I don't want to see
Conor
it.
is
I do.
just the guy that I want to see fight. He's a guy I want to see do press conferences. He's a great showman. He's as good as Muhammad Ali when it comes to advertising.
Yeah.
Now, he's 28. He should be. It's sad that now
He's not
this
even in the
sport,
prime of his career. That's
in
my
this sport, it looks like people are starting to retire earlier.
Yeah. I don't see him fighting
They
for
watch
another 5
Concussion.
more years.
It was concussion.
If he does come back to the UFC. I can't see him fighting mid-30s.
Which sucks because you look at Muhammad Ali, this man went out until he was what? 39?
No, 40.
Maybe, yeah, obviously, maybe too late, you know.
Yeah.
But he's known as one of the best of all time, and that's because he's been fighting. He put the years in.
So you'd rather them go too long or too short? Because we seen
If I
how
had to choose
Anderson
between
Silva.
If I had to choose between two, I'm trying to think, because I'm thinking of Barry Sanders. Wait, who's that running back?
Barry Sanders.
Jim Brown did the same thing too.
Who retired early, right?
Very early.
Very early.
Same thing with Arian Foster as well. Calvin Johnson.
Oh, yeah, but Aaron Foster.
I guess I would say too short because it leaves the interpretation that what if Conor still fought? You know? In 20 years, we'd be like, ooh, Conor should have never retired. He was so damn good.
Look what they did with MJ. Yeah. Oh, what if he didn't leave for those 3 years?
So I would assume if Conor kept fighting to 38 and losing, we would be like, oh, Conor was good, you know.
No, you push.
But if he loses, if he keeps fighting and whoops ass to 30 and stops,
yeah, but I mean, on the other,
it's kind of like no offense to Kobe, but like you know, he put in his longevity. He played awesome until the end, but it wasn't only his fault; it was his team's fault. But it was like, damn, yo, now you gotta lose. Now you gotta leave like this.
But it's also the counter argument. Oh yeah, he ended short. You don't know where he could have been, but he also could have fell off. And then if you see a guy who's the opposite and he just proves longevity and he stays on top for forever, like GSP.
Yeah, you took the. I was.
But
just
that's why we're
that.
hating on GSP as well too.
He retired at the top of his game, even though he did lose to John.
Like, let me throw like the perfect man who will retire at the right time is Tom Brady.
Luckily for him, right?
Yeah, and he's what 39.
Yeah, he's really old. It's probably going to be his last season. If they're saying they have the most likely to win the Super Bowl. If he wins the Super Bowl, this will be Tom Brady's last season, and he knows when to leave at the right time with 6 championships under his belt. But even if he loses, he still left out the top of his game because I'm sure they're going to be competing in the playoffs. But yeah, like that's probably the only guy I can look at who left. I'm sure MJ. Well, when he came back with the Wizards, it was a little like, okay, we get it.
Before I say this, I really hope you saw this movie because it's kind of going to ruin everything I'm about to say. Did you see Whiplash?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So when he's in with that family table talking about whether he die young, smoking drugs, or live till he's an old decrepit man, and he chooses the first option, I'm kind of favoring that end, you know, where you die young, or you know, instead of forgotten, old, decrepit. Yeah. You know, that's kind of how I align myself with this decision. If he would retire young,
that's one of my favorite movies.
If you have my opinion, I still want him to fight till he's 35. Yeah, you know?
Yeah, honestly,
that's one of my. I love that movie.
Oh, that movie's.
All I know is if Conor does finish fighting after Floyd, I'm gonna miss like the good times. Like when I watched every time I've watched Conor ever since he fought Max Holloway was the first time I watched Conor fought. It just brought like a lot of like good memories, and if he would retire like after Floyd, he'll break my heart, like honestly, because he fought so good against Eddie Alvarez, and to the fact that I'm retiring, I'm not coming back to the UFC, I'm done with boxing. Like honestly, like I'll probably be really, really, really upset.
Now,
with
if Conor loses to Floyd and he retires,
I'll
give him a lot of shit.
I'd give him a lot of shit.
Because he literally just took... I mean, it's a wise move. We would all probably do it.
Yeah.
He took all his cards in a basket and cashed them in, you know. But if he wins and retires, then... I mean... That's almost a Tom Brady ending now. Because the odds are against him. Tremendously.
Yeah, it's like a...
If he wins, he has a movie coming.
Especially, I mean, he's the most successful person from Ireland.
Yeah, you talk about some guy who came from struggle, dominated,
with the same woman too. Yeah, credit for him.
Yeah.
Playing the system.
That sounds like a good movie. What UFC fighters you can see movies off of?
I can't believe was it Mark or Matt Hamill?
Which one, the deaf one?
Yeah.
Or Ted Kennedy?
There's a movie after him. If you didn't know,
that makes sense.
It has to be Ted Kennedy, right? Tim Kennedy. My bad.
Tim Kennedy's intriguing because he's a savage outside of it. You know, he actually killed people. You know, he won't disclose it, but Tim Kennedy's a high position when it comes to the military.
He got lots.
He got bodies. Would I want to see a movie on him? No, I mean, I'm trying to think.
It's called 13 Hours.
John Jones might be able to work. Guy who was on top of the world, cocaine.
That
actually hitting pregnant women.
That reminds me of like a Apollo Creed story there or something.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. John Jones works for a movie. Conor McGregor, obviously.
Bisping's been in movies.
I'm trying to think. Now it takes
Ronda,
me some
no.
time.
Well,
Ronda, really? You don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
Ronda might make a good movie.
Ronda
Well,
would definitely work.
Her ending would have to be. It's
The
a
saddest
difficult
ending.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
It would have to be that, then credits.
Yeah.
Immediately
As
after.
soon as she gets punched right in the face.
Yeah.
You know
$1 million
what
baby.
No, Ronda would be easy selling for a movie. Easy.
Oh, she'd make a lot of money off of it. Yes.
Who else could even?
Problem, who's going to play them?
I'm sorry,
probably
but
one of the first UFC fighters might be able to work. Like the first big ones.
I don't think Horace Gracie would sell though.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he would sell in a movie, but would I want to see it? Sure.
You know who I think would be in a good movie? Joe Rogan.
Oh, like his own movie?
Yeah, his own story is phenomenal. Like, because I listen to his podcast a lot, and like,
Ever seen the first show he was on?
yeah,
That
Factor?
radio show?
Yeah.
No, not before that. Before
They
Fear
brought
Factor.
Fear Factor back. Was he the host?
yeah,
Is he really?
yeah. Fear Factor's with Ludacris now.
I'm saying, is he the host? So he's not the host anymore.
No way.
No, that's what I was
he wouldn't
asking.
subject himself to that now.
That's what I was asking.
Joe Rogan could sell just on his name at the point.
Yeah.
At this point.
Like, well, he came from nothing. Like when he was a kid, got bullied and everything. That's why he got into MMA.
Because I always think about, I'm a big
Let's
fan
flex
of.
out the sleeves.
I'm a big fan of WWE. I always think of like WWE movies that could happen.
Yeah,
Based off of storylines or.
For podcasters, what we do now, I mean,
yeah,
he kind of paved that road too.
yeah. And he's a comedian too, and he's a commentator for UFC.
I really do enjoy his podcast. He brings insightful people,
Yeah, he talks. He knows so much about everything.
and it's because he's open minded.
Like
you know?
he'll do a fight companion, and he'll talk
and
about
because he's smoking the L.
yeah. He'll have a fight companion of watching fight nights or the cards that he doesn't travel to around the world. Like when he did a 212 companion, and when they had in Brazil, they
What's
went
a
from
companion?
fight companion when they
watch it at
watch
the
the
same
fights
time again.
live and they commentate over it, and they have a podcast around it. Something like we should do that in the future. I brought that up.
I one time muted Brian Stan and John Anik just so that I could have
Yeah.
the fight podcast.
Yeah, honestly,
or the
I
companion.
watched the
next to it.
podcast and the fights at the same time. That's how like interesting it is. But like he could talk about the fights. 2 seconds later, he'll talk about depression and go into it for 20 minutes. And then Eddie Bravo, conspiracies of 9/11 or
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth, the JFK assassination. Like they know
And Joey Diaz.
they
Joey
know
Diaz.
so
Ranch.
much. They know so much about everything, and that's why I love Joe Rogan and all of his friends because they're so open minded.
I should be on that podcast.
I mean, I'm sure we'd all take a ticket. You know, we'd all
Yeah.
do it.
If I ever met that man, I'd be like, "Thank you, I appreciate everything
Did you
you
see?
do."
Did you see? Was it Joe Rogan's like weight vest thing that he had?
Yeah.
The Captain America thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
That is
yeah.
so freaking cool.
It's a shield.
He got a weight that this replica of Captain America's shield, and
Do you know how many pounds it is?
it was 45,
That's pretty cool.
and then walked up a mountain in the hot ass sun
Damn.
He works out
at
every day,
40
too,
something
so
years old, right?
He's the real deal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's old actually.
I
But
have.
he's on HGH. He admitted it.
I have I have a question. You guys can just keep this in your head because it's gonna be one day on the red corner blue corner debates that we do. But it was what fighter can Joe Rogan beat in the ring?
Nowadays, not many because of his age.
Well, right now,
back in his
today.
days,
Yeah.
He used to kickbox.
Well-
He's a black belt Muay Thai, black belt
Just
jiu-jitsu.
let that sink in your head because you guys are gonna get that one day in the.
Well, I said Phil Brooks.
Yeah, but what's the weight division? What would
Yeah, that would be his weight.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! See.
Right now, I think he's like 200 pounds, but in the UFC games, he's at like welterweight, which is
Yeah,
funny.
170.
Did they have him in UFC games?
Yeah, if you put in a code, you unlock him.
Oh yeah, I have him on mine. I make him fight Phil Brooks every time. That's why I choose.
What is his
Phil
rating?
Brooks.
86, I believe.
Why so low?
Well, physically,
So low.
you know, I mean,
That's about average.
Joe Rogan is old. I mean, I wouldn't pick him against many fighters. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Back in the day.
I wouldn't fight him.
You think he could have fought in the UFC?
Yeah,
That
of
far.
course. Even Dwayne Bang, like 2-3 months ago, posted because he was training with Joe, and he's like, yes, he could fight in the UFC if he wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, because Joe's good, but he's. I don't know about his chin. For some reason, I'm like seeing
he
loose
just-
chin.
he-
You ever like look at somebody, you're like, you don't look like a
He
guy.
used to kickbox, and like I mentioned before, he's a black belt Muay Thai. Very impressive.
Jiu-Jitsu on Eddie Bravo.
Black belt, yeah, with 10 Planet.
Mind
That
you, I'm about
gave
to go
the-
to Allentown 10th Planet.
Oh, for real?
Oh, did you go to what's her name gym? I know you said
Claudia.
How the Claudia Gadelia gym go?
I hope she's not listening, but when we arrived, we watched a jiu-jitsu class. One of our friends, PJ, was in it. So we were just watching over the entire class, and they had kids boxing going on in the corner on the left, and it looked cool. We at the moment, it was small, but enough.
Yeah, it's a very
It was
small
enough.
gym.
But then following that, 4 or 5 kids just started playing baseball in the octagon.
What?
One guy, they were just hanging on the pull-up bar. So it looked more like a circus or a daycare.
A jungle gym.
Yeah, it looked more like a daycare, so
That's
it wasn't
sad.
necessarily the most professional appearance. But then I rode a bit with PJ in the octagon and hit the back.
You were able. You got to pay for that? How much?
The first day was, they just touch up free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched the class go through, and PJ is a member there. So PJ asked,
How much is a membership there?
100 if you want boxing
Okay.
and jiu-jitsu, 50 if you just want jiu-jitsu.
And you go as much as you want and
Yeah.
take up all the classes? Okay.
But I have to look at Allentown and what's it, 10th Planet,
Yeah.
because I think the prices are around the same. Now, granted,
You got an arm?
Granted, alarm for 4:34 in the afternoon.
For what?
I think if people don't know, I work in the kitchen, and I think I put something on a timer so I didn't burn it.
Oh, okay. So, don't wow. How many hours? 168 hours you've had that going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised your phone isn't boiling.
I'm surprised the
But all
plate
that-
didn't burn.
So, I am looking forward to visiting 10th Planet, but it is.
And is that just
Allentown.
a MMA gym in general? And
Well, I think they have kickboxing, but it's
Yeah.
primarily a jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah.
Eddie Bravo is the owner of the
he
branches.
Okay.
Yeah. And Joe Rogan gave him the name of that. Like Eddie Bravo has said it before.
10th Planet is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Tenth
It's a nice
Planet,
thing.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand the symbolism behind it, though.
You know, if you take, you said you go in the one in Allentown. If you take, a 20-minute more drive, there's a, what's his name? The king of jiu-jitsu?
Gracie?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Gracie gym. And then where Mickey Gall trains at.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty
for real?
Speaking of, we're making the most out of a slow news week, but
Yeah. I have a few things, and then we could wrap it up. So.
Ultimate Fighter, do not spoil it if I missed the episode. I know the episode
You
today.
didn't watch it?
The last episode wasn't the Big Daddy fight, whatever, Joe
Yes.
Daddy fight, right?
Yeah, there was 2.
Oh, I seen
Okay.
that one.
There was 2.
Okay,
want me to
okay,
spoil
no,
that
no,
for you or
no.
no?
So tell me how we were about to go to Virginia, right?
Oh.
And we were about to go to Virginia, and I'm like, yo, Jesse, I didn't catch last night's episode of Ultimate Fighter, and it was Joe Stevenson against somebody.
Cody.
It was his first fight though, and I was like, don't spoil it. I just want to know if it was good or not. He was like, yeah, it was a pretty good episode. Joe Daddy lost. I was like, Jesse, I
So
told
you
you not.
didn't hear the disclaimer not to spoil it.
I said, Jesse, I told you not to spoil it. He was like, oh, at least I didn't say that he made it back into the house because he got selected as whatever the hell it's called.
Card.
The wild card. And I was like, Jesse, are you serious? And he's like, I already spoiled it. Can I just explain what happened? I was like, yo, you such a dickhead.
You know what's crazy? I think, what was it? Me and you watched that live
Which-
Ultimate Fighter when Rampage ripped the door right off the hinges.
Oh my, that's probably one
It
of my
literally
favorites.
looked. I was like, "Yo, what's this door made out of? Cardboard?" Like,
It looked like egg crates.
what was that? I was like, "Yo, this man just, god damn it!"
And it's like an MMA joke, but that's one of the only leg kicks he's ever fucking thrown in his life. Because he's so boxing oriented. I was like, wow, my man throwing leg kicks on the door.
At the door.
That's facts. Though.
Do you think he got one of the hardest punches in the UFC?
He's still pretty good to this day. I give him credit. I mean, I believe he lost his last fight.
King Mo,
though. King Mo beat him. But was it decision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Bellator.
You think Bellator could ever top UFC?
Nope.
They just picked up 2 commentators, man.
Oh yeah,
They
I was
picked
gonna
up
mention
Ronaldo. Or what's his name?
Mara Ronaldo,
You
my
like
man.
him, right?
and Mike.
And Michael.
No, Mike Orver.
Yeah.
And they have Jimmy Smith, who's the broke man's Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan,
So,
yeah.
not that bad.
Now, are they going to be on that card with Fedor?
Yes, that's their first card.
All right, I got to watch that.
Here
card now.
we go. I can't wait.
I want to see.
can't
I
wait,
want to hear Mara Ronaldo commentate.
Bellator's, I think
they're creeping
slowly. They're
Yeah,
very
they just got
slowly.
Roy
though.
Nelson.
They're nowhere near, but they're slowly creeping. And one day when they change their fucking logo and their name, they might
It's gonna be soon.
Because I hate Bellator, and Joe Rogan criticizes it all the
Yeah,
time.
because Spike TV
and the logo's awful.
Spike TV
Why
is
is it-
transferred to something else.
And why is it called Bellator?
I don't know.
The roots of Bellator.
So I got a friend that works for Reebok. Now this goes back to the argument we had not too long ago: is Reebok a good thing or a bad thing for the UFC?
Horrible.
So I had a friend who works for Reebok, and he said that Reebok's doing really bad right now.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll
So-
probably get rid of the contract then.
So yeah, I guess the UFC really isn't benefiting them. I don't know
No
if
one's
they're
buying
benefiting
no
the
shirts. I'm
UFC.
being honest here.
Well,
I know.
Jesse has a shirt.
Yeah, I have a Connor.
I do, but it was bought for me, so I didn't pay for that.
It was a
with my
Reebok
money.
shirt?
It's Conor McGregor jersey.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, go to Nike. Under
Or
Armour.
Adidas.
You know,
Why don't you just let the fighters?
You know why? He can't go to Nike. Because once, the John Jones and all those guys, that's the only reason why I really think that Nike.
Well,
why don't we let them select,
Yeah.
Why don't we bring
some,
back their
some
own
basketball
sponsors?
players are Under Armour,
it's not like back then where they're going to have these cheap looking logos on them because, they weren't as popular
Exactly.
now. Now they could get an Adidas deal. They could get a
Yeah.
Nike deal. They could get a Reebok Under
Kevin
Armour.
Hart is getting Nike deals.
honestly.
Like, you know what I mean?
I don't
The
understand
Rock
that
has an
shit.
Under Armour deal.
Yeah.
But
Or just bring back their old sponsors and they could make more money off
and
of
I
it.
also miss the original art, like boxing right now. Vasily Lomachenko, he always
Yeah.
gets like a new group of artists to make his trunks. They're so nice.
Isn't it so generic now? The black and the...
Black. I mean, you have colors, but ultimately it's a uniform.
It's the
Yeah, it's a uniform.
nation they represent.
It's nothing that sticks out that you could possibly sell later.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? If Conor doesn't come back to UFC, I don't think Dana White keeps a job for too much longer.
Probably not.
Why?
Look at
Because
Fertitta.
he pushed for the Floyd fight.
No, that
He'll
if
probably just lose
Conor's
interest.
the only reason why UFC blew up
Yeah, I'll
after
agree.
John Jones' whole bullshit.
Yeah, but
Because
Dana White
look at
was
Lorenzo Fertitta.
Dana
He
White
lost.
was, his job, what he did for the UFC is also unmeasurable.
But I think Fertitta did more, and look at him. He's enjoying the retired life, and he's a fucking
Well, he's
billionaire.
happy. Yeah.
He misses it,
Fertitta
of course.
probably has investments,
Oh,
obviously in other
yeah,
areas.
yeah.
Now Dana White could get any job he wants after this
That's
involved
true.
in the
He
fight
could
business.
retire.
Yeah,
He going to WWE?
he can even work in boxing.
Yeah,
he was
honestly.
actually originally with boxing
Yeah.
prior to.
His net worth like $350 million, so he's chilling.
Well, what other topics we have to
I
cover?
have a few things about news. Henry Cejudo is looking to go against Wilson Reyes, the guy.
Oh yeah, they lined up.
DJ
Was that
beat
official promotion? Because I saw like a poster.
Yeah, it's official for
Okay.
UFC 216 in Canada.
It's an easy fight for.
Henry Cejudo.
Thank you.
Yeah. He only lost once to one. Well,
Yeah.
once to one man, Demetrius Johnson, because he did beat Joseph Benavidez. Yeah. Okay. Mike Perry against Thiago Alves, slated for UFC 215. That's a solid fight. Mike Perry just come
Weren't
off.
they both on the same card, too, that day?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good matchup for both of them. Alves looked good at 170, and Mike Perry had a vicious.
Mike Perry's gonna beat him up.
Yeah.
Mike Perry's too
He had a
big.
vicious.
Well,
elbow.
Alves had a nice showing.
Yeah, he beat. What's his name?
That's about it. That's not how far. He's never gonna be a contender. Mike Perry
who did
would
he
knock
beat?
his block off.
I forget who he
Guarantee
beat, but
it.
he made him retire.
I would love to eat my words, but I guarantee
You don't like Mike
Perry's-
Perry, right?
I don't, but Mike Perry's a heavy hitter, and he's big. Big guy.
Oh, and this I want to ask you guys a question. It could be for future or it could be for right now. Was the UFC broadcast team better or worse with Mike Goldberg? I think
Better.
it's very obvious. I think it's worse.
Wait,
No
wait,
one-
wait.
With Mike
Oh,
Goldberg?
wait.
No,
Like,
is
you
the
like-
UFC
you-
broadcast
with-
team
without-
worse
No
now?
offense, John Anik, but I don't like you.
No, I don't.
You
either.
could do the
I love
commercial,
Dom.
like
I
he
love
could do
Dom.
the interviews. That's it. Don't leave him on the show. He's basically their
Yeah.
businessman. Whenever they need to get a sponsor,
Honestly.
he's like sponsored by.
Yeah. Right now, it's worse because they don't have Mike Goldberg.
We all know that,
the
yeah.
two,
Here we go.
yeah, him and Joe Rogan had the best chemistry in
yeah,
broadcasting
without a
for
doubt.
UFC by far. No one can beat that.
Because it all matters of, you know what I mean? You really can't hear the punches in the UFC, watching it on TV, obviously. Like, in basketball, it's all due when you hit a big shot and you hear, like, all these
Bang!
guys.
Who's that guy?
like,
Who's that announcer?
Kevin Harlan?
Bang!
Yeah,
That's
or
one of my
like,
favorite things. ever.
Dagger! Like, you know what I mean?
So I was going to ask this question now. Do actual athletes make better commentators or not?
Dominic Cruz is pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I think he's
he knows
good
a bunch
in a
about
technical
UFC.
standpoint, but do I think he can carry it the same
No,
way
he
with a
can't.
Like
persona
Joe
that Mike
or-
Goldberg
yeah,
has
no.
or Joe?
people hate him, but, like, for the NFL, I like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman when they do things together.
Troy Aikman's pretty good.
Yeah, you have Troy Aikman who has his background in football, and Joe Buck, his dad was an announcer before
I also
then.
think, like, I get it. Like, on a standpoint, you want to hear the technical
Yeah,
opinions.
and that's why it's
But
perfect with
sometimes
Joe.
I think the sound, the voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's
Mike Goldberg had a good one.
yeah. Mike Goldberg had the voice, and Joe Rogan can give you the details of what's
Yeah.
going on
Yeah.
in the
It
ring.
was the perfect combination.
Exactly.
That's
That's
what-
why I think that broadcast team will be
That's what it
far
was.
by
Great, because
untouchable.
Jimmy Smith isn't bad.
What
It's
happens
not
with
bad.
Joe Rogan if he's like just?
His
I don't know who
contract
could
is up
fill
in
that.
August. I hope he returns because if not, the UFC will be extremely boring.
You can just put it on mute.
Because no offense, Dominic Cruz is great technically, but I don't want to
like
hear
him,
his
Dom-
jokes. He doesn't
You
have.
don't have enough
Daniel?
personality for that, right?
And real quick, Joe Rogan, I love him when he gets in the ring and gets real disrespectful.
Yeah, because he will
So why'd
tell
you get your ass beat?
he would literally.
I didn't see you tap over him.
Yeah, exactly. He'll literally
Forget that.
question it. He
Yeah.
won't. He
Like,
won't
what
be
do
like,
you mean?
"Okay, that's your opinion. You're a big guy. Don't hit me."
What do you mean you don't remember? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of the day, all of them respect Joe because he's obviously knows everything about the sport.
He can handle his own.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking fight with him.
No,
45
Joe's,
years old.
Joe's a good
Beat my
grappler
ass.
too.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So it does matter of who you're watching because there's some NFL announcers I watch. And I'm like, when it's Phil Simms, and I'm a Giants fan. I'm like, this is just boring.
Who's Phil Simms?
He's the old quarterback for the Giants, and he commentates now.
I mean, in all sports, in NBA, we got Reggie Miller commentating. We have Jeff
Pierce.
Van Gundy, who
Vince
coached
Carter.
before. Well,
Jeff Van Gundy, I like him.
No, they're analysts on like ESPN and stuff like that.
no, I'm talking about commentating in general.
Oh, okay.
Barkley commentates some games.
Barkley's,
Shaq.
he's one of those that actually has both the athlete background and the
And
personality.
Same with Shaq.
Same with
Charles
Shaq.
Barkley.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Seriously, I
I
love
say,
Charles
I
Barkley.
say,
Charles Barkley is one of their best. I'm sure every
Yeah.
time they need to renew his
He's
contract, he gets what he
entertaining,
wants. Him
Who's
and
the
Shaq.
other guy? Not Ernie,
They're
the
strong.
other black man.
No, Kenny Smith.
Yeah,
Nah,
Kenny
he
Smith.
think he a legend.
Yeah, he played with the Dream. He played basketball and he's on his commentary.
And
Yeah.
then
They're all great on the team.
This-
The
They
gentleman
are.
with the glasses, he's been doing it for so long.
Ernie Johnson.
Ernie
Okay.
Johnson, he's a
Yeah,
legend.
and he is the voice. Like you
Exactly.
know what I mean behind it.
He's the leading role.
That
Every
makes
time
it
I played
interesting.
NBA Live 06, 05 with that dunk contest, his
Yeah.
voice was on. So again, I think one of the best duos of like athleticism and athlete background and commentators, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley's one of the better ones too. His personality's good.
The thing is, like, it's hard to just find a person.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, I mean, he has
Yeah.
this athletic
He's by
background.
far the best.
It's hard. It's hard to find a Mike Goldberg.
Because Mike
And-
Goldberg.
Bellator cut a
And the
steal.
reason Mauro Ranallo and Mike Goldberg's going to be so good is because Mauro Ranallo knows the sport, and then Mike Goldberg got the entertainment, got the voice,
And,
got
and
the...
Ronaldo knows it well because of Bassaroo. Bassaroo's another good
Yeah,
commentator.
he's great.
Who's the best commentating group in WWE? My person is the King and JR.
Yeah, you can say that, but you don't know anything about the older ones. A lot of people say Gorilla Monsoon. Exactly.
Throwback.
They say Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan are the best ones ever.
And they had Vince McMahon. He was a commentator back
Yeah,
then.
he was a commentator back then.
I don't know.
I mean,
love-
I do personally like JR.
I love his southern drawl.
Yeah, JR and
I love JR and
King,
Jerry the King Lawler the best, but a lot of people say Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan by far.
I'm sorry. When you say, it's a bloodbath. Oh my god.
Well, that's probably nostalgia too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you'd have to listen to the other
That's
ones
my
to
childhood.
change it.
I'm
And,
gonna
and
ask
I'm not,
you.
and for me personally, I'm not gonna go listen to commentary. You know what I mean? And
Unless you truly appreciate
the
it.
matches aren't good enough to watch back then. You know, they're so
Yeah.
athletically it's so advanced now that back then is kind of just boring.
That's,
Even Taz and what's his name were decently good.
Taz and who? Michael Cole?
Yeah,
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Cole. Yeah.
Mike Cole isn't bad. He reminds me of like a Mike Goldberg.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like you
We-
have
we-
him
they
on the
ha-
side. He's not really there.
They have a new guy who's really good right now, Corey Graves. That's one of my favorites. And he got a good look to him. He's all tatted. He used to wrestle as well, so
Oh yeah, I know.
he got his
the
career
white
cut
got-
short.
yeah.
He got his career cut short because of a neck injury.
Because he was crazy. JBL wasn't too bad either back when
I
he
hate
came.
JBL.
He wasn't the worst. I remember when he used to get tight. He used to just get up, get in the ring. Just
The funniest thing,
Time to shake.
I know this is an MMA podcast, but a lot of people who watch MMA watch WWE.
And one day they should almost intertwine.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But there was one moment, and it was funny. They were commentating. It was Royal Rumble, and the next pick, ding, JBL. He's commentating. He's like, "All right, guys, we're gonna get in the
I
ring."
seen that too. Before. He said, "Time to shake."
And then Jerry was like, "Wow, this is ridiculous." And then the next one, Jerry the King Lawler. All right, man, hold my crown.
Oh yeah, then Booker T, then Michael
Yeah.
Cole. That's
They
yeah, I
all the
remember that.
commentators
Wait,
got
Michael
in.
Cole was.
Yeah,
He wrestled one WrestleMania match actually.
I know. I seen him a couple of times. He just,
he lost to Jerry King.
Jerry the King Lawler. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the worst WrestleMania ever.
You know what commentary I would love to see for Connor and then Floyd? Then we could sign out here.
I'm sorry, Jr. Just this right here.
Oh yeah, who would you want?
Joe Rogan and Max Kellerman would kill that commentating for the
Oh, 'cause
fight.
he's
for
a
Connor
Max
and
Kellerman is, as
The
Steven
mind
has
killer-
said,
The
is like
mind for boxing.
one of the best
Boxing guru.
analysts.
Yeah, the mind for boxing of Max, by far one of the best, and Joe Rogan talking about Connor.
But Joe
Them
Rogan still
coming
loves
together-
boxing, you know, so
Yeah,
it's great.
them coming together. Joe Rogan said over podcast that's the only way he would commentate that fight.
Oh, he said that with Max
Yeah.
Kellerman.
Yeah,
That would be
because
great.
he loves Max.
Max
And
is
I-
very young too, right?
I-
It's two
Tell me,
worlds
is it-
coming into one.
Obviously, only
30.
for that fight, I wouldn't want to hear Joe Rogan the whole thing. But like, if they just brought him in for that one fight, that'd be real fun.
That'd be great.
That would really make it feel like an event. You know what I mean? Like almost
Yeah.
like an
Yeah,
all-star
because
game.
Max Kellerman's good. And who's that other one? The one that with the white hair.
The old guy?
Not the.
So, is he on FS?
No. Are you thinking of who? Are you thinking of?
I'm thinking
I'm thinking of
No,
boxing.
no, not Nick Wright.
I'm thinking of
kidding.
boxing commentators right now.
I don't know many except
Yeah, I
Max.
know exactly.
Let me see if I can find any.
But yeah,
But yeah, Max Kellerman, that would be like
that
a
would be
super.
great. It's two
commentary.
worlds coming into one event, which would really make the
I wonder how they
commentating
would decide.
boom.
And then Shannon Briggs commentating too.
Are you thinking of Larry Merchant?
No, I'm thinking of one right next to him, Jim Lampy.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah,
pretty good
yeah.
too. I like hearing him. Roy Jones isn't bad either.
Mhm.
Roy Jones.
Would you like
is
to
not
see
bad.
Shannon Briggs commentate?
Let's go, champ!
Imagine a Michael Buffer doing Floyd's entrance and then Bruce
Oh, the
Buffer
Buffer
doing
brothers?
Connor's entrance.
That would be crazy.
I have the most fun with it. That'd be really fun.
My man is the. I like. Who's the one for UFC?
Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer just turned 60.
He's way better.
Yeah.
He go, like my man jumps in.
Is that his brother?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
It
so
took
his
me a
brother-
while to figure
So his
that
brother,
out.
for Bruce Buffer's birthday, said, "Let's get ready to party." Like with the microphone.
Let's get
and-
ready.
Yep. That was pretty cool.
I'm just sorry. What does he say when he jumps in the air? When he jumps,
It's time.
it's time.
I know he's got Michael Buffer's starting to look old now.
He's a half brother.
Oh, okay.
That kind of explains why they look different.
Yeah, they're completely. They look like an apple to an orange.
Half brother of the boxing and professional wrestling ring announcer Michael Buffer and the president and CEO of the company. The Buffer Partnership. They're both grandsons of boxer Johnny Buff. So that's
I
interesting.
think Bruce Buffer's way better.
Yeah, I like. And he jumps.
Michael Buffer's more iconic.
Yeah.
Of course.
Let's
Get
get
ready
ready.
to rumble.
Yeah.
But
So
at
it
the
would
end
be
of the
pretty
day,
cool.
I think Bruce would be better.
I love it.
What's Bruce Buffer? It's time. That's such a bad one.
And he jumps too, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He jumps in.
Yeah.
The theatrics right behind
yeah,
it.
he gets so into it. MMA record of 16-4, 5'8", and just he goes.
There's
nuts.
way better nicknames than UFC.
Yeah, always. Well, we were able to drag an hour out of this podcast. We kept the entertainment going, so that's always good.
It's time.
We got to get used to doing this weekly now that we're off school. Everything's looking good.
Yeah.
Asking contest is ready to go.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Jesus, I'll let you close it out, but make sure to say where they can find us at. Do you know?
No.
I say it every time.
you
YouTube,
go.
SoundCloud, iTunes, under the name All of the Above ENT. Now, Jesus, close it out.
When you're out there at night and the lights is on.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Am I missing something?
Keep going.
Never mind.
Oh no!
End it.
He dunks.
End it.
Okay.
See, this is why you don't control shit.
Vasily Lomachenko. Gavin Tucker's fighting soon. Hold on, I gotta think of all these fighters that I adore. TJ Dillashaw,
TJ Dillweed.
Cody Garbrandt,
Cody Grab Ass Garber.
who?
You
Du
you-
Ho Choi.
Du Ho Choi's a goat. That's mine.
There's a new one, Tenshin. That's his name, Tenshin. I always name
It's not
him.
tension. It's
It's TENCHIN.
how about when you say it real
Japan-
fast?
Japanese. Tenshin.
tension.
Got a lot of tension.
It's good.
There's tension in the room.
I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but go ahead. Yeah,
All right, well, you guys have a good day.
Night,
week,
y'all.
whatever. Goodbye.
Luke Cuckold. Yeah.